Welcome to Game Make Corp, a festive podcast where we reach into the Imagosphere and pull out the next great video game idea. I am the CEO of Game Make Corp, Bryce.
And I'm the CEO of Game Make Corp, Beckers.
Last time on this podcast, we made In Chili Powder Frickin' League. How'd that do?
Well, you see, this game made U.S. football accessible to those of us cursed with good taste. Because previously it wasn't.
Because football's bad.
Because football's bad. Thank you. Yeah. For those of us who weren't following along, football bad equals bad. Yeah. Unfortunately, that market is really small, the good taste market. So it didn't take off, and we'll have to do better this time.
Well, I have one way to help us do better this time. And it's by reaching into the Imagosphere, which turns out it's also the Twitter sphere, where you put game ideas out into the Imagosphere by tweeting using the hashtag Game Make Corp, and that will get us those game ideas in our pockets, in our fridges, under the couch. You're looking for the remote, turns out game ideas. Help us get those game ideas from under the couch and into our hearts. I have a game idea, Beckers. You ready?
Unfortunately.
It's Festivus time, which means we're going to do Santa Claus and holiday-themed video game ideas, and always...
You could sound like a little bit more excited. I'm just saying. Like, you sound like you don't want to do this.
Welcome to the holiday special of Game Make Corp, where we're going to tell you all the hot video games about Santa Claus. I have the one.
There we go. That's what I wanted to hear.
The exciting game that you've all waited for, based on the hit movie The Santa Claus. It's the only Santa Claus movie anyone's ever seen, and of course, we
bring it up every year, sometimes not around Christmas.
It's just there's a lot to dig into, and this time we've got the question of everyone wants to become Santa Claus. It's the paid for gig. It's hard to get work out there. Santa Claus is just full benefits. You get a whole workforce. You are the CEO of a company.
Comes with its own country.
Yeah.
The North Pole.
Yeah.
It's a country.
It's a country. Yep. That's how that works. And there's only one thing you have to do to get this job. Is kill Santa Claus. Because as we learned in the hit movie, The Santa Claus, you kill Santa Claus, you become Santa Claus. So I think that
that's news to me.
Wow. The challenge of this game, I mean, obviously, okay. So one of the players... we're going to do 100 players. It's always 100 players. No one can make a server that can contain more...
Can we do 69?
Sure.
69 players.
69 Santas of Christmas. You've got 69 players, and one of them is Santa Claus.
And he's coming to town.
He is. But you don't know where. You want that job, but you got to find Santa Claus. You got to track him down. And obviously one of the players is Santa Claus. So he has to do his Santa Claus job. Because if you don't do your job good, then you don't get to be Santa Claus. Because then the kids forget about you. It's the plot of the Rise of the Guardians. You do bad. The Easter Bunny disappears. It's a whole thing.
So Santa, he goes around delivering presents in this Battle Royale of 69 players.
Yes.
Right, and the other players aren't Santa.
Right. They're just dudes who want a job, who want that specific job. So they need to find Santa and make him not Santa anymore. So how do you find Santa? I mean, one, there is many services out there that allow you to just track this man. There's Santa Tracker, Norda. There's some sort of government facility who says they have a tracking device on Santa. I can't remember. It's something that starts with an N and it's real good. And
That's obscure and very relevant.
Yep.
It's super good and helpful.
But they'll only give you the town he's in. And we're just gonna assume that everybody's already in this town because that would be really hard to try and chase down Santa Claus.
I was scared. I was like, "How big is this map?"
You're trying to.
Okay, so you're all in one town, one big old town.
How big is this town? Are we going like Midwest sized town? Are we going New York City?
How about however much is appropriate for 69 people to be able to find Santa in it?
Okay, that's very that's very unspecific.
I have an idea.
Okay, what kind of tools do the non-Santas have at their disposal? Obviously, we know what tools Santa has. He's got the sleigh. He's got the reindeer. He's got the presents.
He's got one more tool.
What's that? Is it you?
So I think there's some kind of way that you're gonna fight in this game, right?
Yeah,
it's a battle royale, whatever.
Yeah,
so there's times when your health is gonna be lowered or something.
Okay. Yeah.
So I think you can recover health by sleeping. Okay. Hold on. Wait for it.
Okay.
You can recover health by sleeping, but he sees you when you're sleeping.
Okay, so to be clear, this is not for Santa.
Santa can see you when you're sleeping. All the other players can sleep.
Yeah, so
Santa can't sleep.
Okay, yeah, because I was like, Santa's got to deliver presents. He can't. This is the one night a year that
Santa can't sleep. He's got shit to do. And as soon as you kill Santa, you take over the Santa job, and there's one less player in the battle royale.
Yeah,
there's 68.
But you do need to get back on that present game. You can't be just like, oh, I killed Santa, I'm good. You need to be the last person alive. So you either need to be taking out these fools coming after you while delivering presents. You can't just stop delivering presents. You gotta be like John Wick type shit where you're like, walking through the subway while smacking some assassins down while throwing presents in the chimneys.
And normally the map gets smaller, but in this case, the game ends when all of the presents are delivered.
Oh yeah, I think you can win by just delivering all the presents. That's Santa.
Yeah, if you deliver all the presents before you're killed, then you get to be Santa, and they all should have done better at killing you.
Yeah, so you could go a pacifist route if you get pick Santa. It's really hard because there are 68 other players.
The first Santa never wins. That's fine. That's how it's gonna be. Sometimes in battle royales, you just spawn and you're next to somebody and you get shot in the head. That's it. Yeah. That's how it works. That's how battle royales work. Sometimes it doesn't work.
I think
you lose.
I think Santa can heal from milk and cookies.
Yes. I like this.
Yeah.
That's a good
because obviously that is his fuel, his whole thing. But obviously, you can camp those milk and cookies. You can be like, Santa's gonna need these. I'm gonna hang out here. I'm gonna wait for him, and then Santa goes after those. You can be waiting there with a. What kind of weapons are we giving these people? Anything? Just
Santa only gets holiday themed shit. He gets presents. And he'll throw them at you, and they don't do a lot of damage. Santa's not here to serve. He's not here to be able to kill the other players, honestly. He's not very good at it. He's playing a defensive game in a present game.
He gets whatever you would give a child. So at best,
Nerf guns.
At best, a BB gun because of the hit movie A Christmas Story.
It's a Wonderful Life?
No, it's you'll shoot your eye out.
I think
it's Christmas. Yeah,
I feel like I'm gonna disappoint people by saying I haven't seen that movie.
I haven't either. I don't think anyone has seen that movie. They're just like, that's a boomer movie.
That's a boomer movie.
if
you've seen it, you're a boomer.
Yeah. I go to Target and I see the little the lamp with the leg, and I'm like, Who wants this? Who is like, this is my culture?
I would want it just for the aesthetic, not because of the movie reference.
Yeah, okay. yeah, at best a BB gun, Nerf guns, marbles. Marbles, I think, is a strong Santa tool because you would totally give a kid marbles.
I think that can stun somebody if you hit him with a solid marble to the face.
But I think... So, are we assuming non-Santas, do you get straight guns?
That they get real weapons, yeah. And I think, can they kill each other or only Santa? This is we need to figure that out.
I think they all got to go after Santa. Because I feel like that makes it more tense for Santa. And also, we've already determined because of the Santa Claus that if Santa dies, he just kind of disappears. So we can leave it G-rated. There's no blood, no actual visible death. You just become a force ghost. You just disappear.
Okay. And it's true, not unlike traditional battle royales, all the players don't have to die. Santa can deliver all the presents.
Yeah, I think you can stun the other players. You can use the toys to stun other players.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I feel like we can do better than just guns. How are we going to kill Santa? What is bad for him?
Okay. Can players find houses that Santa has to go to? There are kids at this home, and set it up with some ice. Get some slippery shit on there. Set up winter themed stuff so that Santa
traps like in Home Alone.
Yeah. Was Home Alone G-rated? I'm gonna Google this right now while Becker tells me all the hot traps.
Okay. You have your
Okay, well, you did such a good job that I'm not going to reward you by telling you that Home Alone was rated PG, not PG-13. Things were different back then. You could just have a dude's head on fire and be like, well, as long as mom and dad are there to say, hey, don't put up a bunch of paint cans at the top of the stairs so when burglars come, they'll get hit with them, then it'll be fine. Do you think a kid ever tried to Home Alone his house?
Yeah.
That probably went bad.
Probably.
3 Ninjas was better. Have you seen 3 Ninjas?
I don't even know what you're talking about. I haven't even seen one ninja.
Wow. Becker's
You say wow, but that's literally the level that I don't know what you're talking about.
Becker's needs to watch both the hit movie Demolition Man and 3 Ninjas.
Quit bringing up Demolition Man. Every time you do, you seem older.
Thank you. Yeah, so I think you can set up traps. Maybe everybody has to use toy-based things.
Yeah. Okay, but maybe they're more effective on Santa.
I think the fact is, A, everyone's gunning for Santa. Everybody's trying to get Santa, and B, you know that he's gonna have to go to these houses.
Yeah.
So you have a distinct advantage over him. And also obviously Santa has all the presents. He's got access to all the weapons.
Yeah.
So he has.
But I think all he can do is stun. You know, he can't actually hurt anybody. I think only toys only hurt Santa. And I think if you use them on regular adults, they don't actually hurt him. Because Santa, he believes in the magic of toys or some shit. I don't know. I think that would be good.
Okay.
So, if you hit Santa with a Nerf gun, it goes straight through him like a bullet would, and he goes, oh, and he dies.
And then you put on the Santa suit, and then you gotta climb up in there, and Dancer and Prancer are just like, well, guess we got another one.
And Dick, throwback.
Yep, I've listened to every Game Make Corp episode ever to get all our sick references.
Just listen to last year's Christmas episode. You're in the mood. It's Christmas. Listen to them both.
Yep.
And you'll find out about Dick.
Well, I think we've kind of got this real good. Do you?
This is a hell of a game, honestly.
I think we made something great. And so, can you give me another game idea for us to flesh out?
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna bring back the quality level a little bit down to our usual. Okay. So the second biggest Christmas nonsense besides the whole Santa farce, what is it? Hallmark movies. That is the biggest Christmas tradition. It's so Christmassy. It's got candy canes and presents and Christmas trees. Hallmark movies. That's the next step.
Okay.
Yeah, I said a lot of words there. I know
did.
It's overwhelming. Okay, so
tell me about Hallmark movies.
You're gonna. This is gonna be.
Imagine I've never seen a Hallmark movie. Explain.
Oh well.
I know they have greeting cards.
I will.
Is this like you know how they perfected it, where when you open a greeting card, it'll play a song? Is it like that, but it does a movie?
No, Bryce, are you familiar with the fact that Hallmark has a TV channel?
What's a TV?
It's called the Hallmark Channel.
Okay.
Hallmark, the greeting card company, they have a TV channel.
That's weird.
And they play movies there, and they're generally like rather low budget, extremely corny.
They only got so much money from that greeting cards.
Nobody swears, and the conflict is like extremely small in these movies. The world is never in any danger, you know. It's
a lot of movies. It's a lot of moral of like, do I really believe in my company's decision to tear down this old building? Should we
that nobody lives in, so it wouldn't be that bad, yeah. But like everybody kind of likes it. that's the biggest dilemma in Hallmark movies. Anyway,
there's a bookstore that gets one customer a year, but if our company might tear it down, I think this is bad. Yeah. Let me discover the true love of reading old books.
Okay, so this is a game where you play as a Hallmark movie director.
Yes.
You know, and like the general anatomy of a Hallmark movie for Christmas is a girl. It's always a female main character because of the target audience. What?
I just want you to know, I'm going to let you finish. You're going to say all the words that you're going to say already, but I already have a thing that's going to make this so good, and I'm excited for you to hear it, but I want to hear you say the rest of the words you're going to say.
So basically what Bryce did, and let's see if anybody catches on to this reference. He stood in there and he goes, I'm going to let you finish, but my version of your game idea is the greatest of all time. Of all time. Thanks, Kanye.
Okay, tell me your game idea.
Call me Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift, please finish your game idea.
Forever.
That seems... Oh, no.
Good, because that would be really weird. So a girl comes home for Christmas from her big business job, or because her dream of being a writer is failing or some shit, and she meets some dude, her ex-boyfriend, or some guy that runs the bookstore or something, or an orphanage, and
is the mayor of a town that is like centered around Christmas tourism.
Yes. Yep, and there's an old guy in the town who he secretly
Yeah, I'm excited.
He's gonna tear down this building.
Secretly.
He's gonna tear down this building that
one brick at a time.
Likes. The plan is secret. He's not gonna do it in secret. He's gonna do it and everyone's gonna know about it. Anyway, basically, like, you save the town, she finds love, she decides to stay home because that's always the right decision and not following your dreams that involve leaving home.
You gotta move to the small town and give up on your big city living.
Yeah, and it will end up being the right decision for you and everyone and everything, and everybody's happy except for the bad person who is sad. But since it's Hallmark, they actually find their true calling and they still end up happy. So, But here's the deal. Everybody knows this already. It's a meme. Everybody knows what Hallmark does. They're onto you. You make the same movie over and over again.
Okay.
And now it's time, Bryce.
Yeah.
This is about making Hallmark movies different.
Okay.
So, you put dinosaurs in them.
I'm going to let you continue until you're ready for me to save your game idea.
It doesn't need saving.
It
just needs two people to contribute. You know how much
business.
I contributed? I contributed to your first game idea so much. There's back and forth. It was beautiful. And then this one, you're just like, hey, I'm going to let you like pop off and read like be like an essay, and then I'm not going to contribute at all. And then it makes it sound worse than my idea, even though it's not, because I'm not going to help you, even though you help me because I'm Bryce and actually I'm Kanye.
Your game idea is a big business lady trying to tear down a business, and it just needs the mayor of a town that loves Christmas to save it, which is me. And I'm here to save your game idea.
Just do what you're gonna do. I'm done.
Okay, Beckers. You have told us what a Hallmark movie is, and your job is to be the director of a Hallmark movie, correct?
I don't care. Yes.
Okay.
Whatever it is, I'm going to tell you that it's dumb.
It's fucking good.
Whatever you come up with.
Okay, so we talked about the fact that it's low budget. So Hallmark says we do not have the budget to get actors and all that stuff this year. So instead, you're making a Hallmark movie
with dogs.
No.
The same exact movie, but as dogs.
No.
Thank you. It's a good idea.
But it's a reality show. You have to go set up these people and be like, okay, I don't know. You have to go find a business lady, like put security cameras in her offices and shit, like bug her stuff, and then somehow set it up where her company is gonna own a Christmas tree farm and make it so it's unprofitable. You gotta set up these situations in a real life and secretly film it for these people. And good times.
Pull a lumberjack, bring it to her hometown so that they can work. She can meet him, and then they can fix the Christmas tree business.
Yeah. Maybe
see how supportive I am?
Yeah.
This is what that feels like.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Maybe you are allowed a certain number of actors, like a stooge, someone to pretend to be the lumberjack who can be on your team, who can be like, okay, you go find me this grumpy business lady. I'll be the lumberjack, and we can save her Christmas spirit.
Hire someone to date the business lady and then break her heart.
Yeah.
That's the intro to half the movies.
Or we can go Truman Show with it, where the entire Christmas town
What happened to low budget?
Because you don't have to pay for the business lady. She's a free one, because you go find an actual business lady and lure her to Christmas Town, and everyone in Christmas Town is an actor.
But if
trying
she's
to restore.
grown up in the outside world, she's gonna know the difference. She's gonna know about the internet. And how it is.
She's there. We're not gonna put it on the internet that we're doing a Christmas. Well,
that's not what I'm saying.
What do you
What
say?
I'm saying is she's going to go on Facebook and she's going to talk to other people. You can't do full Truman Show because
No, yeah, but we're not gonna make her think that she's been living this life her entire time. We're going.
Oh, so we're not doing the Truman Show. Okay.
No, I mean
okay.
the town will be Truman Show. We find a lady. We find a lady. We somehow get her to this town for business reasons, where she's very
Kidnap
unhappy.
her.
She's unhappy to be here, but we have a town full of actors, and we have to restore this lady's Christmas spirit, and we film it.
We gotta blow some candy canes up her butt.
Is that
As that candy cane dust? This is different from how I thought it would be. Continue.
Is that how you restore Christmas spirit?
Yeah, it's a candy cane
Enema.
rectal transfusion.
Okay.
Enema.
Yep. I know doctor words.
Can we be done?
I'm sorry.
What are we calling this?
I'm sorry I took the dinosaurs out of your
Can
game
we
idea.
call it Hallmark mistake?
No. The Hallmark movie director. Or
Okay, fine.
Or Christmas Town. Christmas Town. I like Christmas Town. And you got to run a town where everybody's actors trying to restore somebody's Christmas spirit, and you have to film it, and she can't find out, and you have to restore.
I have something to add to this.
God
damn it. I had to burp, and then I ruined it by talking. So I can't do it anymore. And now it's awkward. just pretend I burped.
Okay. Somebody edit that in post.
Somebody.
Hey, can you tell me about some people who help us make this?
Yes, I can. Are you ready? Did you see the excitement in my eyes when you asked? Because get ready for the best investor shout out that we have ever had. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So it's time for me to thank the people who made this possible. The people who subscribed to our Patreon and gave us $5 or $3. I don't know how much it costs. I didn't do it. And then they said, "Hey, shout me out on Game Make Corp." Well, this is what it was for. Are you ready?
I am. Hopefully they are.
I'm gonna honor you guys with your very own personalized Christmas carols. Individualized. Joy to the world, Aaron C. has come. That's it.
Okay.
I can't make them very long because we have to do several.
Okay.
Okay. And then it's Alex Weber, the red-nosed reindeer.
Okay.
I'm enjoying this. Okay.
I'm glad that someone is okay.
We wish Andrew Feisner a Merry Christmas. We wish Andrew Feisner a Merry Christmas. We wish Andrew Feisner a Merry Christmas. A Happy New Year. And I did one for you, Bryce.
For me? Okay. I'm scared.
You're a foul one, Mr. Bryce. You have termites in your smile. You have all the tender sweetness of a seasick crocodile, Mr. Bryce. I did it.
We're very good friends. Okay, I have another game idea. We're into the next game idea. Thank you. Oh, you forgot to tell people what to do if they wanted to hear this.
I said some stuff. Patreon.com/lastgeek. And then figure it out.
We believe in you.
Listen to any other episode where we explain it every time. Except for before we had a Patreon.
Yeah, that'd be.
Don't listen to one of those because it's not in that one.
Okay. My next game idea is a game idea about. Wow, I didn't know that would be the thing to set you off.
Go on.
My game idea is a game about keeping Santa Claus in jail. Now, this is another, of course, the Santa Claus reference. Also, in the hit movie, whatever Netflix Santa Claus movie they made last year with the guy from Tron, he goes to jail in that one too. Both times, like, I want to make it clear that in both situations, and I'm sure there's other movies where Santa Claus has been put in jail. In both situations, it was for legitimate reasons. In the Santa Claus, he was put in jail because he took his kid, basically kidnapped him from his mom, and they did not agree upon that, and thus, I'm pretty sure there was like a restraining order. There's a restraining order against him and the kid to not see each other, and he broke it and kidnapped him for Santa
If you're
times.
waiting for like my confirmation or something, that's not gonna happen because I don't know.
You saw the hit movies The Santa Claus.
I did, and I don't remember this at all.
Well, this happens. He shows up, and the cops come out, and they take him away, and he goes to jail, and then the little kid is back at the North Pole, and he's like, my daddy's in jail, and the elves are like, we got this, and they show up.
My daddy's in jail. Nope. I'm a kid.
That's how it went. And
I pick my nose and I eat it.
Yes. And
that's a lot of information,
and then they show up and they do wrapping paper around the cops and they break him out, and it's a whole thing.
Apparently I need to rewatch the Santa Claus because
I'm surprised.
WT heck. Can we talk about how that whole movie is based on a pun around the name Santa Claus?
Sure. The other movie that I'm thinking about...
Okay, let's talk about it.
Okay. The other movie I'm thinking about is The Christmas Chronicles. Okay, go ahead. Tell me about how it's funny that they added an E, because then it's the Claus. Because it's...
I'm just saying, like, that spawned one of the most iconic movies of any generation. And it's literally just... Someone's like, Claus also means that.
Yeah. I mean, and sometimes they make it where it's Santa Claus, like cats have claws. It's crazy.
I just came up with a new game idea.
Well, we'll hear about it next Christmas time, probably.
I'm putting it in the channel. Don't think I won't. Oh my God, this is happening.
Okay. So, and in Christmas...
1 year from now.
Stay tuned. You got to listen up till next year. You can't miss a single episode, or we won't let you hear the Christmas special.
Bryce, that's not true. Don't listen to him. You can listen as much or as little as you want. Just at least listen to some of them, please.
Okay, so in the Christmas Chronicles, Santa Claus and these two kids that he took stole a car. They did steal a car, and then the cops did find them because the guy reported his car stolen. And then they take him to jail, and they're like, who are you? And he's like, I'm Santa Claus. And they're like, ha ha ha, but really, who are you? And I'm like, Santa Claus. There's a whole deal. And then he convinces them, oh, actually, I am Santa Claus because you want your wife back for Christmas, and look, she's on the phone and she misses you. That's like super weird. That shouldn't be a thing that Santa Claus is capable of, because that sounds like mind control, but okay.
So Santa's in jail. Let's move on. Santa's in jail for mind controlling people.
No, he's in jail for stealing a car, because I want to make it clear, Santa Claus in both of these movies did commit crimes. He was not arrested for being Santa Claus or doing any Santa Claus related things. He wasn't arrested for breaking into houses and stealing or giving people presents. It was for actual Grand Theft Auto. And so he gets out. What happened, this is spoilers for Christmas Chronicles, is that Santa Claus convinced.
Well, you might as well stop because no one's listening.
Okay.
They don't want it spoiled.
Well, anyway, Santa Claus convinces the cop that he is Santa Claus, and then Santa Claus, or the cop is like, oh, you are actually a Santa Claus. I'm going to let you out. He did commit the crime. He should go to jail. He's not, just because he's Santa Claus does not mean he gets out for Grand Theft Auto.
Good behavior.
But then after the cop like admits, oh, I do believe you, it turns out Santa Claus had some magic shit and could get out regardless. So,
right.
I present all of these situations because we need to make a game about keeping Santa Claus in jail. Because when he does commit crimes, because he does do this, I mean, obviously there's the breaking and entering that you can expect from Santa Claus. Though I do have, if you put a sign outside your house that says, Santa Claus, stop here, are you then giving permission for this man to enter your home? I feel like the answer would be yes. I feel like that's legal.
Would it count for a vampire? That's the real question.
If Santa Claus was a vampire, could he then enter your home?
Yes. Like, you have to invite him in. Otherwise, he can't come in. So, like, does a sign work for a vampire? That's the question. Can we get a vampire in the chat?
Yes, can we? Also, we don't have a chat, but send us a tweet if you're a vampire. And also, if you're a vampire, can you turn Santa Claus into a vampire and find this out for us? But also, holy shit, would that be scary as shit? A vampire with the powers of Santa Claus. We would all be dead. Humanity would be gone.
Not if he's... I mean, it's like a genie wish, right? Like, if a vampire becomes... Wait, this is the other way around. If Santa becomes a vampire, he's still Santa. Like, it's like when Jafar wishes himself to be a genie. Like, he's like, oh, phenomenal cosmic power, itty bitty living space. Like, shit comes along with being Santa. You gotta deliver presents, love children, be magic and good and nice. Like, you can't just be Santa, have Santa's powers and not be Santa.
I think, like...
He's still Santa. He's just
You can
undead.
deliver presents while murdering. And also, like that...
What? Santa doesn't murder children.
Okay, he could leave the children alive. That leaves a lot of adults whose homes he can access and turn into food.
This is okay. So this is a lot like what happens when Santa's a robot. Have you ever seen Futurama?
I have seen Futurama.
Yeah. So there's robot. Okay, we're already coming up with another game idea for next year.
Okay. Is it Vampire Santa or is it Robot Santa or is it?
It's all of the different Santas from all the different universes.
Man, ooh.
It's like Flashpoint Santa.
Man, Imagine that in our Santa Claus Battle Royale. It's a different...
Jesus.
It's different versions of Santa Claus.
Santa Claus Battle Royale number 2.
Oh, God. That would actually be really sick. Like, you've got Santa Claus. He wants to... he's got to deliver all the presents. And all the other players, you can pick a class. You could be a vampire. You could be a robot.
And when you become Santa, you're now Vampire Santa or Robot Santa.
Yeah.
Oh my.
I think we made that one really better. But yeah, so, okay, keeping Santa in jail. Oh, you can't... number one, you've got to... everyone has to agree that this is Santa Claus, and Santa Claus can commit crimes. Can we all... Because Santa Claus is...
Yeah, okay, let's move on to this jail one. Santa committed crime. He deserves jail time. How do we keep him in jail? Go.
Well, I mean, I want to say that's the first one. We have to agree that Santa Claus can be a criminal because that has happened several times that people are just like, I don't believe you're Santa Claus. So, and then as soon as they believe that they're Santa Claus, they let him out because it's like, oh, Santa Claus can't commit a crime. It's like, yes, he can. He's a dude. Like 90% of the year, he's just a dude.
Yeah, if Santa was a lady, then obviously the answer would be no. But since he's a dude...
I don't want to think where you could possibly go with this, so I'm gonna just move on.
I'm not going anywhere else. You just said, okay, well, Santa's a dude, so he can go to. You just the way that you said it made it sound like because he was male.
No, I'm more saying that he's a human.
I know. I'm aware. It was a joke. Here we are.
It's a person.
It's all
not
ruined, and
okay.
now it's over.
Next up, the tools that Santa has that would be, susceptible to breakout would be the elves. Obviously, there is a determination of like what classification of elf you're working with, because like the elves in the Santa Claus had some like Christmas-based gadgetry. So honestly, like if you have anything more than a cop who is like, hey, you're a bunch of children, please leave, you probably can stop them. They were honestly easily defeated. They just had the worst cop ever involved in the situation. So maybe 2 cops and don't allow children near Santa Claus. I feel like that's a strong deal. Oh, number 3.
And no windows on the cell.
Number 3, Santa needs to be in his own room. Because in the Christmas Chronicles, he was put in a room with a whole bunch of people, and then they did a musical number. You can't let that happen. I feel like that just makes him more powerful. You can't let Santa Claus do a musical number if you're going to keep him in jail.
That's how he charges up.
Yeah. He gets that Christmas spirit out there, and then he can just...
And then he can use hyper beam.
Yeah. He can just go through the vents and shit. Also, I think this one's really obvious, but don't have a fireplace in the jail. Because that's just asking for trouble.
Yeah, but like, what about a window? Can he make it out through between bars of the window? Because in a Santa Claus, he gets through this really small pipe, and
Yeah,
I'm concerned.
Well,
I'm concerned.
I think there was.
He's like a jellyfish.
Okay. Does his Christmas magic only allow him to enter? Well, he did exit, but I think he entered the same way he exited the same way he entered. Maybe he can only use his burglary tools to like deliver presents, so he can't like break out with them. What powers is Santa like have every power? Is he unstoppable? Can anything actually stop Santa Claus?
I mean, there's quite a line between having no bones and being able to squish like a jellyfish.
I mean, yeah.
Or octopus. Octopus is more accurate. Anyway,
They're
being
crazy.
able to squish and then like having every power ever. He doesn't have laser beams.
I mean,
so obviously he's just mortal.
I am sure there is some representation of Santa Claus that is like, laser beams. I bet
If you can find me a single... Oh God, I'm pretty sure Robot Santa has laser beams.
I was literally about to say Robot Santa.
God damn it.
You played yourself, Beckers. You played yourself. And you know what?
Because I unplayed myself before I even finished playing myself.
Well, you know what? I want to play your next video game idea. So can you tell me about it? Because I'm done. I don't think we ever really said anything interesting.
We never even talked about that game. We just built up to it for 20 minutes. And I'm sitting here like, okay, Santa, jail, let's go. And then we talked about the other game again, and here we are. It's
we made it really good, though. We made it so good.
Yeah, so we did
Vampire
the first
Santa.
game idea. We did the second one, and then we doubled back for the first one again. All right, and it's finally time for another game idea. So, let's talk about Elf on a Shelf. Bryce, what is Elf on a Shelf? What's the lore? What's it about?
I'll be honest, I've never had an elf on a shelf. They creep me out. I know that they are supposed to be an elf that Santa Claus has sent your family to keep an eye on your unruly child, and he will report back to Santa Claus and tell if you've been naughty or nice and what things you should want for Christmas.
I mean, you said you don't really know, but that's exactly correct. It's an elf spy for Santa to tell Santa if your kids are behaving.
Yep.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We didn't have that when we were kids because we're boomers.
Yep.
And this is a new development.
And we heard the song where he just says that he knows if you've been naughty or nice and is never like, oh, he uses his network of spies to find this information out. We were just
now
like,
he's got a network of spies. Okay, so Santa sent that elf, right? But and the elf is watching, and he's watching your children. Also correct.
What's the elf's name?
He's an elf.
Yeah.
On a shelf.
Name.
And his name is Ralph.
Ralph?
Ralph.
Like, I've got a Ralph.
Son of a shepherd.
Okay. Tell me about Ralph. Tell me about
Ralph.
Ralph.
Please pronounce it correctly.
Tell me about Ralph.
Ralph. Okay. Ralph. He's watching your children. But it's not because he wants to know if they're naughty or nice. It's because, Bryce, do you know where elves come from?
The forest. The North Pole.
How do they get new elves when their elves get old and have to be thrown away?
I mean, I thought elves were ageless, but okay.
No, you're wrong. That's what they want you to think, but that's not true.
Okay. Are you...
You didn't see where I'm going with this, but I want you to say...
Are you talking about elf breeding?
Yeah. How do we get more elves?
You leave... You leave a male elf and a female elf at the daycare.
Okay. Wrong. Elves are sterile.
Okay.
Like mules.
Is it based on...
Here's why.
Okay.
Well, that's why the elf is watching your children, Bryce, because he's looking to find which kids would make the best elves. That's what the elf on the shelf is for. He's watching to see which children could make the best slave labor for Santa Claus. And it's a conspiracy to abduct your children to make toys for other children. Because he's got to abduct very few every year.
Okay. Are you Ralph or are you the child? Or are you the parent?
You play all of them. It's a multiplayer experience. You can play as Ralph. You can play as the child. You can play as the parent. And here's the thing. Ralph loses if the parent sees him move, but not if the child sees him move, because the child's allowed to believe.
Yeah.
Okay? So the parent, you're right.
Parent sees that Ralph going in garbage. Ralph out, Ralph done.
He doesn't just go in the garbage. He gets his head popped off and he goes in the oven. Like, Ralph is gone.
Child sees it and then mom's like, oh, of course he moves. He's watching you. You know, this.
And the other parent always thinks that they are the other parent moved Ralph, you know?
Yeah.
You know, they don't know that he's moving himself. Ooh.
Spooky.
Yeah. Spooky. So Ralph.
Wait. A player can play Ralph. A player can play a parent. A player can play a child.
Right.
The person playing the parent knows what the game is. Couldn't they just find Ralph and stare at him the entire time?
No, because they have jobs and they have to sleep. So they have a very small period of time with which they can catch Ralph. And if they don't do the dishes, the house will explode. So they have to find time to do that or whatever. I don't know. You be creative. Help me out here.
Yeah, okay.
They have to do chores. Here it is. Here's the gameplay. I changed my mind. Who even cares about going to work or whatever? The parent has to be in the house at the same time. Makes it exciting. And they have to
stay-at-home parent.
Stay-at-home parent. You're playing a stay-at-home parent.
Yeah.
And you have to sleep, and so does the kid, because there's going to be a special Ralph gameplay at nighttime. But the parent has to do chores and stuff. And if they don't do all of the chores by the end of the day, the parent dies. were taken out of the game. I don't know. That's all. They go to parent jail for neglect.
Yeah, Child Protective Services shows up and are like, your house is not tidy enough. We're taking them away.
Yeah, Child Protective Services, aka Santa in a different kind of suit. Yeah, that's what happens. If the parent does not do the chores at all in completion by the end of the day, Child Protective Services, aka Santa, shows up and takes the kid either way. Yeah, and Ralph wins.
I think that's good because Santa Claus can go, oh, I would take care of this child way better than this parent could. So you have to like help keep the kid there by having your house real nice.
Yeah, so that's the parent's goal.
Yeah. It's find Ralph while keeping the house good.
Yes. And Ralph loses if he's found, but if he's never found by the parent, he can win.
Yeah. And what is his criteria? How is his goal? How does he achieve his?
So Ralph has to observe the child.
Yes.
And he has to take notes and not be caught by the parent, and he has to move around for some reason.
I mean, to find the child, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah. So the child's going to hide from Ralph. That's what they're going to spend their day doing. And Ralph is going to try and follow the child around. But Ralph is constricted by the fact that he can't move when the parent is watching.
Yeah.
And Ralph has to watch the child for a certain amount of time. And once he has watched the child, he's filled up that meter enough, then he can abduct the child. It triggers the abduction sequence.
I kind of like the idea of maybe there's
a dog.
No, there's several Elf on the Shelves in the house, and the parent doesn't know which one is the Elf on the Shelf. I think the kid knows. The kid has got like creepy vibes. He can like sense the elf.
Oh my gosh.
Stuff.
I want this to be a horror type game.
Yeah. So like the parent like knows, hey, there's several elves. I gotta do the dishes. I gotta do this stuff. I gotta mow the lawn, shovel the sidewalk. It's probably snow, so probably shoveling. They gotta take care of the house. But they're always like, I've got to watch for the Elf on the Shelf, but there's several in the house. So you don't know which one. You don't know where's he going to be. You got to keep an eye on everyone. Like, oh, he's in the living room. I'll just peek in the living room all the time. That wasn't the real one. He's in the closet. He's waiting there for Jiminy to come out, and then he's going to write down all the information about his blood type and stuff.
I think the parent can like take the elves that they find and like mutilate them or something. Like you can't just throw them away because they'll climb out. So you got to do something to take them out of commission. But it takes a lot of time, so they can only do it to like a couple elves a day if they're still going to get their chores done.
I was thinking you don't mess with the elves because you believe that you don't think they're real, so you just think it's a cute thing. You just think, oh, it's real cute. The little elves are keeping an eye. Until you see them
your
move.
Point. The only reason I was thinking this was because I want a situation where Ralph takes a fake elf and he sets it behind the parent so that it's just looking at him and it's all creepy. And the parent doesn't know how it got there, and it's like, oh, some Chucky ass shit.
Yeah, I mean, I think
spooky.
Yeah, I think this the Ralph can move other elves because that would be really good because Ralph could move another elf. The parent will go like, I saw this elf is in a different place. That has to be Ralph. I will keep an eye on that one. But that wasn't Ralph. Ralph moved that one. Ralph is in the bathroom now. You didn't.
And all the elves are almost the same, but they have like one little tiny different thing. Like one of them has a different shaped nose.
Yeah.
And one of them has like rosier cheeks. You know? Because if you see him move, maybe you were out in the
outside and you looked in the window, you saw Ralph move. But Ralph noticed that you saw him, so he runs. And now you have to figure out which elf is him.
At the end of the day, the parent has an option to select which elf they think is Ralph. I think if they just see Ralph moving, that they win. That Ralph loses.
Really? Because I figured that maybe you'd have to grab him and get him. Because you could just be like, oh, is he tricking my eyes or something? I like the idea of maybe 3 days till Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve, they grab the kid at night. So everybody's got that long until to achieve their goal.
You're not even gonna let the kid enjoy his last Christmas?
No, I mean he's gonna be enjoying all the Christmases as an elf.
All Christmas all the time.
Yeah.
Santa just brainwashes all his elves to think every day is Christmas.
Ooh, well, I mean, yeah, it would make sense it's Christmas Eve because when Santa comes down to drop off presents, he comes back with a little present for himself, a new elf.
Hey, a new elf.
Yep. So if you do that, yeah. So I think you got that long to get rid of the elf because Santa comes down, elf reports back of like, hey, I found this kid. Here's his deets.
Okay. So what's the kid do? He avoids being seen.
Yeah.
What else?
He has to he can maybe try and draw attention to the elf somehow, because maybe as part of your parenting responsibilities, you'd like the kid. I'm thinking like you could maybe make a mess in the room that the elf is. The parent would then have to clean up the mess because that would be a responsibility of the parent because that'd be added to your tasks. But the problem with that is if you seem unruly, then the elf can write that down and that'll be more criteria for you to get taken by Santa. So it's kind of a win-lose.
For every naughty thing the elf sees you do, it raises it shortens the amount of time before Santa takes you, before you can get rid of the elf.
Yeah. Or
I don't know.
Yeah, or maybe, okay. Christmas Eve, the parent just has to watch. They just have to hope they did a good job taking care of the house and stuff. And did all they can, or they got rid of the elf entirely. But if they didn't, they're just spectating. The elf then becomes Santa Claus. How powerful he is based on how like junky the house looked. Like how if the parent wasn't doing a good job doing their chores and stuff, Santa's more powerful. He's got like heat vision and can just teleport through that at the house. He knows exactly where the kid is.
You're so into Robot Santa, aren't you?
Yeah, totally. You get to pick your version of Santa. Maybe you could be Vampire Santa. I don't know. Whereas, and if the kid's been naughty, then that's another thing that adds to the powers of Santa. And then if the kid can hide, so if maybe the kid's been real good, the parent's been nailing it, but hasn't found Ralph, then Christmas Eve, kid tries to hide from Santa long enough before the timer runs out, before Christmas Day and Santa or midnight, yeah. And Santa has to go back to the North Pole.
Yes. I will agree with anything at this point, though, to be honest, because this game could have gone in a lot of different directions, and I'm losing my hold on reality.
Is it? I mean, I think we mostly kept what you said. I didn't go, oh, wait, this...
I'm sick.
Okay.
I'm sick. Reality is tenuous.
Okay, as the person with the least amount of reality, which game idea or would you like to go with?
Well, there goes gravity. It could have been Elf on a Shelf. It could have. But I feel like it's Santa Battle Royale.
Really?
I just hit my desk at the same time I said that, so enjoy that.
It's not. I kind of like where we ended up with Battle Royale, or not Santa. Or how we ended up with Elf on a Shelf.
Elf on the Shelf. Ralph the Elf on the Shelf.
Yeah, I like the like horror element that like everyone's trying to like discover Ralph before it's too late, before the kid gets taken, and everybody's kind of like. Everybody's got different roles, but they're all trying to. Well, the parent and kid are trying to like stop Ralph in their own ways. I feel like we haven't really fleshed out how to make the kid important during the normal days.
That's the difficult part. I really liked the Battle Royale thing though, because I just like the sees you when you're sleeping part.
Okay. Yeah, that's actually very good. Okay. Battle Royale?
Yeah. Are we just calling it Santa Battle Royale? Straightforward.
Do you got something better?
No, I think that's good. It's descriptive. It's festive. That's all you could ever want.
Should we call it He Sees You When You're Sleeping, Santa Battle Royale?
No. I think that's too long.
Okay.
Did you hear how long I was thinking for?
You were just
long time.
Yep. It probably was not cut out at all. We just left a lot of dead air there.
Well, it would have been it. I need to be done.
Santa Claus Battle Royale is the hit video game from Game Make Corp. But before we wrap up this episode and say, here, I'm gonna let Beckers tell people where they can hear from her while I pull up a little holiday festivus thing.
I don't know what's gonna happen right now, and I don't. Whenever I'm just afraid. Okay, I'm just afraid. Anyway, you can find me on Twitter at Dr. Beckers with a Z. And on Twitch at Dr. Beckers with an S. And I'm going to get fiber internet soon. And it's going to be nuts. My favorite color is green.
I'm Bryce. You can follow me on Twitter at Last Geek. You can follow me at Twitch, Last Geek Plays. You can follow me at youtube.com/LastGeek. You can follow me lastgeek.com. Look at the About Us page. There's a picture of Beckers on there. And also you can learn about our cool video editor. You probably haven't seen her. She's a cool person.
She's a pretty lady, and also I like her hair.
There's other places you can probably find Last Geek Plays on Instagram. But it is the holiday season, and we all know what that means for Game Make Corp. But this time, I'm not going to make it all about Game Make Corp. I'm going to make it about someone who's very special to us, Beckers. Are you excited? I'm excited.
Is it Jenna Marbles?
I said us, not you. You know Jenny and Sally and Michael and Tommy, Willie and Fred and Smelly and Jiminy. But do you recall the most famous intern of all? Billy, the social media intern, had a very normal nose. And if you ever saw it, you would say it was normal. Why are you making such a big deal about his nose?
What the hell?
All of the other interns used to laugh and call him names. They never let poor Billy join in any Game Make Corp games. Then one foggy Christmas Eve, Bryce and Beckers came to say, Billy, with your nose so normal, won't you run the Game Make Corp Twitter account? Then all the Twitter followers loved him as they shout out with glee.
Yippee!
Billy, the social media intern, you have a very normal nose.
I enjoyed that. And my fears are abated. That was all right. That's cute. That's cute.
Thank you. That's the greatest Christmas gift anyone can hope for is Becker's approval. But until next Christmas, I would like to wish you all a merry holiday season, and remember, have fun. Bye.